guess just general mindset going into the weekend?
Same as every week. I think the big thing is, from like a mentality standpoint, is just not treat this any differently. I mean, I've said it since day one. Regional, super regional, it's the same game. Just kind of sticking to the routine, what's been working, and just sticking with the guys. I mean, we have the same plan every week, just attacking the plan and then letting our ability and our confidence just play out.
What did you see from, I guess, the season scores that made you confident that this is different and really when you've been part of it?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the best teams I've been a part of. I mean, just the guys are off the field are great. Great to be around. We have just a great chemistry among all of us, and I think that shows on the field as well. We're super competitive, and as the season went on, we kind of found ourselves and started trusting ourselves more and more, which was really exciting to see from both offensively and from our pitching staff. And I think we grew as a team really well, and that led to us just continuing to play better and better and leading us to where we are now.
How did last week test y'all as a team, and how do you think y'all sort of responded to that?
It was definitely a battle. I mean, we were in Houston. We got to Houston on Wednesday. We practiced that night. Thursday, we were supposed to play that first game, got rained out. Friday, I was pitching that game, and I literally walked out on the field, and they called it, and then I pitched the next day, but I mean, that's baseball. I mean, challenges are fun, right? And then we had that doubleheader, and then it led into the tournament, and I think we really grew as a team. I mean, all that time on the bus, I mean, in the hotels, we're all on the same floor, just hanging out, and then going to the field and just being ourselves was just a really livening experience. It was hard, but I think hard stuff can be good, and we learned a lot about each other, and I think we definitely grew as a team.
What were some of the most fun moments? You mentioned the bus rides and hanging out in the locker room. What were some of the most fun moments then?
Our Buc-ee's trips are always fun.
Okay. What's that look like? What's a OSU baseball Buc-ee's trip?
It's a flood of a bunch of hungry guys and a bunch of scared faces of just normal people, like, what is going on? But no, they're fun. That's just all the time off the field, on the field, and just any time we can get to spend with each other, and especially those, 12 days in a row of just not being in your own bed or whatever. You're sharing a room, which is fun. I mean, guys getting together before games, playing the show. Like, I think I had 6 guys in my room every day. We were just playing MLB The Show. It was just fun going to the pool. We were doing pool workouts. It's just a lot of stuff, and it made it easy to stay away from all that social media stuff. Like, I'm personally not a big social media person, and that stuff can be distracting, obviously. Like Josh always says, like, it's just the game ahead of us. And that made it really easy for us just to kind of just like connect with each other and stay in our own bubble and grow.
You walk into Buc-ee's, what's the first thing you're going for?
So I'm from North Carolina, so I had never been to a Buc-ee's until the first time we were in Arlington, actually. And I was recommended those cone pecan things. And as soon as I tried them, I was like, these are unbelievable. So like that is the first, I get that is the first thing I get. And then like, now I like crave them, which is a problem because I feel like I've gained weight. But
does it kind of feel, like you mentioned, playing the show and hanging out with each other, does it kind of feel like your kid playing travel ball again?
Yeah, that's definitely what came to mind. I actually mentioned that to Robert Kranz. I was like, this feels like a perfect game tournament or something. We're just hanging out in the hotel for an extended period of time. But yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. But like anywhere you get to spend with an allotted period of time with your teammates is a lot of fun, like home or away. We do the same thing here. We're always hanging out. We're always in the locker room. We spend a lot of time at the field, so we're always around each other. And it's never a dull moment. It's always exciting and fun.
You mentioned earlier, you kind of felt like you guys found yourselves along the way this season with the new pitching staff. Kind of like I asked Nolan, at what point did you say, "Hey, this is going to come together. This is going to work"?
Let's see. I think, there was a bunch of moments. I feel like TCU. For me personally, Brian was lights out every outing. and I was kind of figuring my way out. Like I had some spurts, but I was never able to go the distance yet. But that TCU game, I think I started off with like a double and like 2 walks in the first inning. I was like, oh, here we go. And Rob just said something to me. He was just like, stop trying to be something you're not, just be what you're good at. And something just clicked in my head. And from then on, and I think that next period was the weekend after OU. I mean, that was a grind. That was a grind of a series. I mean, we won it. But we just kept growing and growing. And I think the biggest thing was, which you sometimes don't see in a lot of college pitching staffs, is just like we were able to minimize previous games. So like if I had a rough start, Brian was always there to pick me up, or like Rob was always there to pick us up if we got in a jam. Tommy, Drew, Ryan, it didn't matter. It was always just like, we're human beings, like we'll have off days, but like right behind us is 6 guys, 7 guys, our whole pitching staff who are on their toes ready to go. So that was a nice thing to see as we got along.
Did you know Carson at all before coming here?
I met Carson briefly in the Cape. We played Chatham the last game I pitched in, and I think we briefly just said hello, but I knew of him. I mean, he's one of the best baseball players I've ever played with. He's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable person as well. I've had a lot of fun getting to know him. He's a great guy on and off the field, super funny. But yeah, he's unbelievable. There's no other words to say it.
Was there kind of a moment, whether it be in the fall or whatever, that you see him start practicing or taking BP or throwing, that you're like,
yeah,
it's a little bit different?
Yeah, I saw him take BP, and I just saw how much fun he was having. And like a lot of the time, this was in the fall, and I faced him the first time in the fall. And I think we had like an 8-pitch at bat, and I threw I couldn't have thrown better pitches to him, I think, and he would foul off. And then I finally threw him another pitcher. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And he hit a double off the wall. I was like, okay, this kid's special. Like, he had no holes in his swing. I couldn't figure him out. And it was just, that's when I knew. I was like, all right, this kid's legit.
Sam, just given, we've talked about your dreaming to open the single line, everything you had to go through, just given what transpired to get here, how fulfilling is it to be in the spot right now, like you are?
Very. I mean, job's not done, obviously. I didn't come here just to have a good season. I want to have a good season with a great team. I want to have experience. I want to go win the whole thing. As a kid, you dream of going to a regional, super regional, College World Series. But yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing experience. Again, the stories out there, it's been a trek for sure. But I'm really happy with how I've meshed with these guys, how these guys taken me in. It's not easy I've been in their shoes, like having new guys come into your home, basically. They've been very welcoming, and just growing with these group of guys and learning from each other, learning from the coaches. I mean, Josh and Rob have had valuable knowledge that I would have never had access to if I never came here, and I think it's helped me a ton. So yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I think it's one of the best decisions I've made in my life.
What have you learned about this specific experience that you talked about with this team?
I've learned a lot about myself.
Just in general.
I've learned a lot about what makes a good team. TV shows you the good star players, the guys who hit a bunch of home runs, the guys who have all the accolades. Like, that's what you see, but like what you don't see is like everything that goes into it. I mean, nobody sees the 6-hour scrimmages on weekends, back to back to back, the 10 a.m. lifts before you have to get on a bus to go 4 hours to Texas, and us just all hanging around. And like, that stuff I feel like is what makes a team good. And I played on teams where there's been really good players, and we didn't perform because there was not like the chemistry among the players, because at the end of the day, it's a team game. You can make a good pitch, a hitter can still hit it, you still need somebody to make the play, or vice versa. So having that trust among each other, I think, has just flooded us with confidence and has led to us just being very successful.
What have you noticed in getting to know Brian Holiday a little bit? What stands out about him?
He's a super competitive guy. it's fun. And he's just a great human being. Brian's my road roommate. And that started UCF, and they put us together, and it's just been great. I mean, we have really good chemistry. Like, we work really well together. We're always picking each other up, learning from each other. I start the first game, he starts the second game. We always play catch together. It's just, he's a great guy. I think we also work really well together. We have very similar lingo when it comes to, and mentality when it comes to pitching. We'll talk to each other about starts. Like, I obviously see the lineup first. We'll have conversations. But like, hey, this works, this doesn't work. It helps that we have similar strengths. He has obviously different stuff than me, but like, we kind of play in some ways similar. And it's just been a lot of fun. I feel like having a great relationship with your starting pitchers, and I mean, our whole staff as a whole we're just super close. And I think that really shows when we go out on the mound.
There are times it looks like, and it's probably this competitive side that you're talking about, but I mean, he might retire the second order and come off the mound looking angry.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how he is?
Yeah, for sure. There's multiple times where, I mean, that's anybody on our team. I mean, I feel like he just shows it more than some other people, but yeah, that's for sure. There's times where I remember in the dugout, he came in after a start, and I think he was like 7 innings, like 1 run or something. And he comes in, he's mad. I'm like, you did really good. He was like, it's not good enough. I was like, but I understand. I mean, in the heat of the moment, I've been there. He's came up to me and I've been super mad. I remember it's just how it is. I mean, and I think I got that from him because originally I wasn't really like that. Like, I was very just like, it is what it is. But he's really helped me grow as a competitor as well, which is I'm very thankful for. But yeah, it's fun. There's always never a dull moment with him.